Hey there everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or however you like to spend the end of your year. I hope you're having a good time. This is my Christmas special video. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do for it. About a month or two ago I planned I was going to do a thing called Community PvP. That is where I share video clips that have been sent to me by other people and I put some commentary over the top. Now that is coming together, but it's not quite ready yet, so that will be coming later on. I've got a couple of my Archer friends that have sent me some clips. I just need a few more clips and then to put it together with commentary and stuff, and throw some of my stuff in there. I'm going to do an updated PvP meta too. So what you're watching right now is just one of my clips. There's a bit of visual glitches in my recording, in some of my recent recordings. Got to look into that. But anyway, what this video is going to be looking at is my inventory and my general items and stuff. It's something which people wanted me to make a video on. So as this video clip comes to a close, I'm then going to switch over and I'm going to show both my test account and also my normal in-game account. They have different things on them because my test account is like, there's lots of stuff which I can just literally just grant myself, so it's not so interesting to look at. But anyway, that was me slaughtering some wizards that were reasonably strong. Yeah, we're on the test account right now. Yep. Quick way to check is my number of gems. There are so many people who watch my videos and they see me in my test account and they see the number of gems and go, oh wow, how'd you hack that many gems? And that kind of stuff. This is test account, completely different area. You can see nobody's in town. I'm the only one, literally the only one on this server. So looking at this right now, a few things to look at. Mainly it's going to be stuff in my vault. But yeah, basically what I do on this character, you can see 4 fire spheres on there. I can grant myself any jewel, any set of equipment, any dragons, that kind of stuff, any gems. So yeah, my equipment, I just get a kind of recent-ish set. You can see this is one I've kind of resocketed a bit, so I can throw some stuff in it. I think it's quite an old one. I like to use this artifact crown because it's fun using an artifact one which is from a long time ago rather than the newer mythic ones. And yes, I just keep myself fairly updated, but it's a pain to kind of update regularly. I generally keep my battle wings at about power level 10, if you can read that there. That's just what I do, because if I push it too high it's going to mess up when I'm trying to do testing, because I'm going to have too high power and stuff. But battle wings I tend to use for just like changing my power. So if something scales with power, I can change how much power I have via this without actually changing my other stats too. It's only going to increase my damage and armor, and otherwise I can use it if I want to like keep my stats low but buff up my armor because I'm dying a bit too much. Then I can make the content a bit easier by doing that, and then account for the damage. Promotion as well is something I can alter. I typically keep about promotion level 200 because I find with like the slightly older sets that gives me enough stats to then still do the content properly and do testing. You can see my wizard right now is on 2000. But anyway, so I usually do that, and promotion I use to kind of alter the stats, so I don't need to keep updating my equipment sets the whole time. So anyway, that's what I do there. And then screw-ins we're going to look at later on. Dragons are just going to look at quickly now. So I got my dragon village maxed. I actually had various people at some points in the past ask me, how much does it cost to upgrade a particular building a particular amount? Now there is one of the commands for the dragon village is reset all the buildings. They now have a command which is max all the buildings, but originally there wasn't that command, so that I could only reset the buildings, and in order to max them all I had to go through and level every single one of them via gems, which is fine, but it's like a lot of button clicks. It takes about 2 hours, so there was no way, whenever anyone asked me something about the dragon village, I was just like, sorry, I've maxed all the buildings, I'm not going to go through that again. It cost me actually 30 something million gems, because originally what I did was I added 100 million in order to do the dragon village, and then I did all of that and I was on like 60 something million, and then ever since then, which is like 2 years, I think I've used about 10 million on everything else. So anyway, yeah, my dragons, it's just, I think right now, yeah, I've got support dragons. I've got a few random dragons which I was like looking at and testing, so they're kind of maxed, and then all the others I like to kind of keep just not there. So I just have the ones which I need. And the only funny thing to show you is training scrolls. I gave myself I've got 1.3 billion. The reason is that when you go to train a skill, you can instantly buy the silver with gems, however you can't buy the training scrolls. So it's really annoying me having to add training scrolls each time. Or maybe there's like an extra button to buy them. I don't think you can buy them with gems. So I eventually got too annoyed that I just added a ton of training scrolls, so I never have to add any more. But anyway, that's just little things there. Now we're going to look at my vault. So in my vault, I've got loads of incredibly rare items, some of which, a couple of which are actually not possible to get. So we start off with the big ones. This is weapons and stuff which people really love. Sorry, not weapons and stuff, literally with weapons. So these are well known in the game. The Sword of 1,000 Truths, the Staff of 1,000 Truths, and the Bow of 1,000 Truths. They are literally test weapons, so almost every single game has test weapons implemented in for debugging purposes, so that the game creators, the developers, what do you want to call them, they can go into the game, use this weapon, and they're going to one-shot everything, or just kill everything stupidly fast. So they can go through maps and test them and not have any problems with the enemies. So it's very normal to have this kind of stuff in the game, and these are in the game files for the real game too. It used to be quite frequent that we get a post on either on Facebook or on the forum about one of the guys. He was the old support guy. So before they switched which company was doing the support for them, they used to have a guy called James who would do all the support cases, and he sometimes logged into the normal game to test something, and he would be running around. All his characters had these weapons of 1,000 truths, so people would then look at his character, see he has ridiculous damage, and then see this weapon and stuff, and they'd be like, whoa, there's some hacker in the game. It was actually the support guy who was just there to test stuff. So I had to say that so many times to people. But anyway, one of the cool things is you can actually have two swords. Don't ask me why I've got a maxed elite duel in them, but anyway, you can dual wield these swords and have 2.4 million damage as a knight, which is always fun. You get ridiculous damage numbers with those. So anyway, that's those weapons. I've then got some shadow curios, which is I think the original curio. No, we used to get curios from guild stuff, and then basically all the lower guilds and just people who weren't in guilds weren't getting any curios, and the stats were kind of going ahead, and it was meaning that if you're in a guild you could play the tough content, but if you weren't in a guild or you didn't have a good curio, then the tough content was kind of getting too far ahead, so you couldn't really catch up. So they gave out the infinite shadow curio, which anyone could get, and then you leveled up with other things. So you can see I've got them at different levels. I think 150 is max. Yeah, it is. So I've got one at 3 different levels. Then this is just a shield because I'm dual wielding on knight. This is just the shield I can grab from that set. Got a few old curios. These ones are like before they made PvP curios, so you can see it's got PvE stats, and they went up to 80% on the elemental stats. And then I've got a random wisp here, random light wisp. I've randomly got some Skullbrick stones. Here's the first PvP curio, which came with both crit block and tenacity. I think this was the best one I got out of the box. So you can see it's got really high crit block, it's got good elements, and the tenacity's pretty good as well. So yeah, I think that was the best one I got, and I decided to keep that. It came with good gold fine too. Then I've got some random consumables which are here for me to grab and use if I want to test with those consumables. And at the bottom I have some rare boxes. So the rare item box is in the game normally. You should know that one. We get it from time to time from thieves, and otherwise you can buy it in the shop for gems. This one is an old one from Elite event. These are just they're the more standard boxes, but this is from old Elite event. I'm gonna grab these other boxes too, so you can see them. Do we want this one? What's this one? Oh, it's an essence one. Okay, so this one was from Elite event. This is how we used to get Elite event, and so you got these stones which you'd use to turn the mythic items into. Actually, I can't remember. Yeah, mythic into fabled. You'd have to get these stones, and then you could evolve them via the blacksmith. You'd otherwise get guild score, maybe event box, some rare food. This is quite common to get some rare food, some random consumables, and then the big ones were these ones at the top here. So these are the VIP items, and they'd be 4 at any one time. You can see right now it's the equipment and the trinkets. So yeah, these were like stupidly low drop rate, and this is how people originally got the various VIP items. Now they're just in leaderboards, but this is back then. You could get them in those boxes. And then these next 3 are these jewel boxes. Now there is an updated version of this crescent box which they've been bringing out on the recent festivals. On the first day of the festival, there is a map on the event board. You can do it for 1,000 gems, you get one of these, and it's actually best to reopen these because you can do it for less than 1,000 gems, and then you know, get multiple crescents at the same time. You just save up a load of gems, so do the map once, you save the box until you have loads of gems, and then you just open it and reopen it a few times to try and get some good crescents. So the elite crescents, these never drop, but the other ones do. This is the older version, so like the best jewel you can get in it is this 40% one. Now that is still the best jewel in the newer box, but it's got a higher chance, and the other ones are a bit better. This 30% one, is like the most common drop from the updated box, whereas in this one I think it's kind of these worse ones, which are not so good. But that's from a time when like crescents were a bit more valuable and a bit harder to get. What's this I've got here? Oh, I've got a second one. Yeah, I saved 2 so I could test on one of them and still have another one kept in my vault, but I never did. This was the Tri-Stone one at the time, so it came with these damage jewels, which they are like really badly outdated now, but back then they were still reasonably good. And then you got the 162. This was considered a very good damage jewel, but this one was probably one of the best there. And as you can see, that's the best one in here before you go to the elite Tri-Stones that you never ever get. There was one for sphere as well, so this is the spheres. I really like this one actually because it comes with. Actually, oh no, this is, yeah, so this is the older one. There's an updated version of this which came out at one point, and it had a fire sphere in it. They only brought it out one time, they haven't done it since, but you could get unlimited amount of fire spheres, that is 24% fire spheres, which was crazy, and so that's where I got a couple, I think. This one has just some interesting stats. You've got crit rating there, you've got lifesteal, those lifesteal jewels were really good. And then this was max mana. This is before we got the star jewels with like loads of max mana. So 24 is actually a considerable amount for back then. And then the elite spheres, obviously. So this is the old gem box too. So you'll know now the normal gem boxes, these come with. Actually, sorry, I'll just make sure. Oh no, it's gone idle. Oh well. So yes, the newer gem box comes with 100 as the lowest. This one came with 10 as the lowest, and it was about like 80%, 90% chance of this drop. And then like 10% for everything else. So the really big jackpot, 100,000, that was super rare. Almost nobody got it. 10,000 was possible though. I got one of those. I think most people that played for like 2 years or more would get a 10,000 at some point. And then otherwise these other ones, they were possible to get, but they were super rare. They've since decided to make 100 as the lowest, and make it give a little bit more back most of the time. Premium gem box is still the same, I believe. Oh no. Have they kind of knocked it out? I can't even remember now. But this they introduced after a certain amount of time, and this is 100 as the lowest. There's also just better chance on the other drops, but they were a bit rarer. So anyway, that's those boxes. I'm just going to put them back where they come from. I like to keep everything very organised, as you'll see throughout this video. Oh, that one goes there, sorry. I keep everything really tidy and organised because I hate things being disorganised. It becomes a nightmare when I want to try and find anything. So anyway, this is where I keep all my insignias. This is the common and the fabled ones of each, the skill books too. I can actually level these up and stuff. I don't know why I've got them all lowest quality. Oh, okay, this is them maxed. I haven't bothered maxing getting a maxed version of the PvP ones because I can't PvP in this because there's literally no one else online. And so then I got a maxed core of each one, and these all have maxed gold find jewels in because I think I was testing max gold find at some point. This page is it's where it kind of gets a bit more interesting for me, at least. We've got these ones which are the, how do you call them, gold find sets, the gold farming sets. There's an equipment one here, an appearance one here. I could get the newer versions, but this is just from back then. I actually put the maximum number of move speed jewels in there, which got turned into these other jewels, which is why you see random defend rating ones on there. But I put max move speed on there to kind of test the max move speed. This set is a very, very old set. It's from before I started playing the game, and if you look in the set bonus there, it says basic attacks deal certain amount, like 2% nature damage. It also gives you a plus 15% nature stat. But making your basic attacks deal nature damage, that is really cool. I put this set in my vault because I thought at some point maybe I'll try this out and make a video with it. I actually haven't, but I do think it's quite cool that there's this set with that effect on it. We got a couple of older crowns with jewel sockets in them, and then we got some move speed stuff. So there's all the kind of great old stuff. This is the cloak of the Wolf Strider that used to be really good for archers. It gives 15% move speed. We also got these keys now. You'll notice in brackets on this one on the left it says elite. There were kind of elite items from some of the events a very long time ago. You can see artifact here. This was the highest quality at the time. And so anyway, they came with slightly better stats. This charm came with 5% move speed as opposed to the normal one, which came with 3%. But you could use both of them. I was trying to remember. I think you could use one elite, one not elite for the set bonus. So at the time you could use you could get 8% move speed and still keep the set bonus by having one of each. This is a medal with 5% move speed. And then I've got the other kind of standard like Boots of Ravenous Fury, this stuff. This is another charm which came with 3% and 5% move speed. And then I got Boots of Ravenous Fury for another class. What do we have here? We have the Traveler's set. This Traveler's set comes with cooldown reduction as well as a little bit of move speed. It was the best farming appearance set before you got the gold farming sets that give more move speed, and they had gold find too. You can see I've got loads of maxed crescents in this. This was just me testing out something at some point, I think. And then the other items we got here, what's this? So this was the first, actually was it the first or the second earrings? I can't remember exactly, but basically the earrings came out at a certain point later on after trinkets, and they brought them out as like 2-piece sets, and they come with stuff. This is actually the earrings I use on my character for farming because they have mana per kill on them. Anyway, that's one of those. This one here, if you look in the set bonus, there's stun chance, which is very interesting. Also base mana and armor. The item itself has cooldown reduction on it too. This is like really early days of appearance stuff, and they, as you can see by the 30 damage on it, and yeah, they put some really interesting stats on stuff. They used to put interesting stats on items, but then they've kind of gone a little bit more bland recently to kind of make things work better in the long run. But it's a little bit of a shame for older players who know about these items. You can see this has 5% cooldown reduction. This one has plus 16% armor on it, which is quite cool. This one has it's an appearance cape with move speed on it. I think this is the only appearance cape that had move speed on it, which is why I've kept it. This one was for testing purposes because Epic is the first quality of banner that you can resocket and get 3 sockets on. So of course I had to put max crescents in it because you know why. And so this is an old thing. You can see medals were got from guild events by being in a certain leaderboard. So this one was top 100. I think there was a quality above this. There was an artifact version which gave 15% fire, as well as these give mana per kill, which is quite nice. And then this is the one which is incredibly rare and very, very good. If you know anyone who has this, they've been around slightly long. Actually, I think this was out when I was playing the game. Yeah, so this came out very shortly after I joined the game. And it was only for the top 5 guilds that they got this with 10% bonus gold drops, which is gold drops as opposed to gold find. It's very good if you have this. There are very few people who do, because it's literally 5 times 35, and barely any of them play still. So anyway, I've got that. This is the current 75% gold drops set, but you can see here I've got over 5% move speed on the necklace because I can't remember exactly how, but I got it like that. This was the old version of it. So as you can see, it comes with 75% gold drops. There's also some cooldown reduction on the necklace. Fun fact, this was from the first event I ever soloed by myself of the level 60 event, which was the toughest one. And it took me so long to get through. I think it was about 20 minutes or something to get through by myself. I was using potions the whole time. It was so intense. I finally finished it and thought, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to do that again. And it was the first run on the event. When I came out, I opened the box and I got a necklace out of it. The rarest drop, the 45 damage for me was just incredible. I think I had like 200 damage at the time, so it was like plus 25% more damage to my character. And yeah, just awesome. So nice memories for me with that. And then when you go to look at these rings, they have 15% gold drops too. So you could actually use 2 of them keep the 75% bonus via a VIP necklace, and then you would have, actually no, I think you could just use 2 of them anyway, of those items. Anyway, so then you could have 90% gold drops from it, which is obviously more than the 75% that you have now. This is the 100% gold drops, trinket set. I'm trying to find my words there. So yeah, the best setup is actually using this 100%. You then take out one of the rings and use the VIP talisman, so you keep the 5-set bonus, and then you add in one of these rings to give 15% extra, and then also you add in the medal to add 10% extra, so you're going to have 125% gold drops. I've described that in guides before, but here it actually is the items that you need for that. And then looking through this, what have we got on this item? I think this was the first ever elite item, elite equipment item from events. It's when they first introduced it. It was like the final day of the event. They suddenly brought out, oh, here's an item only box, so no dragon stones or whatever it was at the time. And not only that, but they're better versions of the items. So this one came with, you can see the 2 triangle slots. That was just standard. It came with 2 triangles. Triangles are just way better than spheres back in the day. So that was, yeah, some good memories with that. And here we got the same thing again. I think it's from the same set actually. No, it's not. But anyway, it's an elite item. Oh, there's cooldown reduction in the set bonus. That's probably why I've got it. This one's really cool. It's got 3% plus 3% damage as a stat on the item. You can see also in the set bonus there's base health as well, just unusual to see. And then this is basically a medal with cooldown reduction. We've got a medal with mana per kill. I think that was one of the first times we saw mana per kill. And then here we have two test items, a test charm and a test curio. It's funny that it says curio of 1,000 truths, and it's got the like icon of the sword of 1,000 truths, and it adds 17 damage. I have no idea why 17, but anyway, that's what they decided to use as the test item. This is my VIP items collection. As you can see, I've just got various qualities of them. I tried to get one of each quality, and then we've got like the talisman and the helms and stuff at the bottom here. They're just like items I randomly picked up. This was actually the first VIP item. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't. There was, where are they? The Royal Guard. I think I've got, yeah, Queen's Guard. That was it. Yeah, the Queen's Guard ones. This is literally what it was. So from the first ever tournament, you could get the Queen's Guard weapon and offhand. And so if you did the first difficulty of tournament, you could get the superior version. And then the next difficulty up, you got the epic version and stuff. And then from the leaderboard, so you could get the artifact from the highest, quality reward from tournament. And then to get the elite version, which you can see here, the elite sword, this was from the leaderboard on the tournament, which back then would go for like the full 2 weeks or whatever. Actually, I think they were 1 week. Yeah, they were 1 week long. So anyway, that's where all this Queen Guard stuff is from, and why you have lower quality VIP items. Then after that, we had the Queen's Guard cloak, which was the next VIP item to come, and it was a cape. And then they didn't ever release a cape again. They only released 2 items of any one set, like that is equipment, appearance, or trinkets. So here we have all the screws, which I'm not going to look at. These are all the other insignias, which I just have kept on one page, and nicely color coordinated. And then I've shared a screenshot of these as like links to my guide for the trinket set effects and the equipment set effects. But you can see here all the ones there. They're all for wizard, which is why they're crossed out. And then here I've just got some stuff. This is all like maxed armor jewels, because I wanted to test what the maxed armor was. So you can see all these maxed elite jewels in this set. I just kept it because it's kind of fun. It actually took an annoyingly long amount of time to resocket all these items, so I didn't want to just throw them away. And then this is testing fire and nature curios and wisps, which I was doing for my character. So that's pretty much it. I'll just there's not really much to show on Skurunes. I won't really bother, but like basically I've got them all. I think I've got more for my wizard than the others, just because I mainly play wizard. So I've got most of the bonus ones, which give like gold find. Like this one was like a rare one. You can see 80% gold find on it. What else have I got that's kind of interesting? I've got golden meteor strike with the 50% gold find on it. I've empowered crystal armor, that's the 30% gold find one. And yeah, I'm not really going to go through it all because I've been droning on already, and I want to get on to my actual character. So anyway, if you stuck with me through this, I hope I haven't bored you too much. I don't know exactly what people want to see, so I just thought I'd go through, a fair amount of it. And I know that there's some people who love seeing this stuff. So, and it did get requested, so I did want to show as much as I could without taking too long over it. So we're going to look at my character now. I'll just give you an idea of... I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to go through. I want to show off my dragons because I haven't showed them off for ages, as well as just some other things on my character. I do like... Well, I was going to say I do like showing off my character. I don't like showing off my character. I'm not a show-off. And when it comes to like spending gems and stuff, I don't really buy that many gems. Well, when I say I don't buy gems, I only spend any money on the game if there's like some extra bonus and some reason to do it, because I can farm gems anyway, just from normal play. So I don't really see the reason for why I should put money into the game unless I'm actually going to get some extra benefit out of it. But anyway, so I've worked on my character over the years, and like my character's got good because of that. But like, I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not going to show it off. I'm only just like sharing because it's fun to share, what you've worked on for years. So we're going to have a look now at what my character's like. Right now, I think, yes, I have over 100,000 gems because I've saved up for many, many months. And I'm now starting to buy some class promotions. So first of all, yeah, I'll just show my class promotion. I was like 219. I'm buying up to, I don't know, I think I'll go like 3 more times. So I'll get to like 280. And then I'll stop there and start working on my PvP wings. So let's have a look at my dragons first. Obviously, I've finished the village because I've been here since it came out. I've still got stuff to spend silver on, so I'm doing that right now. What I want to show off most with my dragons is I've only got a few that aren't relic or above. I've been working to get them all to relic. You can see there are a couple more I'm going to evolve, and then I'll have all except 5 dragons at relic or above, which is really nice for dragon drops because they all come at the same time then. But also just, it's been a nice achievement for me. In terms of the ones which I've got to mythic, I've only been getting the ones which are worth it. You can see all the gold dragons I don't bother leveling beyond 100. I accidentally leveled this one up a little bit. Zeno is coming next. Victorious I'm still getting claws for. Ignis is the one I'm leveling up right now. It's at about 110 or so. And then these are all my mythic dragons. I often get asked like which are the best dragons and stuff. Kind of go with what I've evolved here. There are a few other really good ones, and in terms of picking out particular ones for particular things, it really depends on what you want from a dragon. There are a few standout ones, like for PvP, Winterclaw is really good. Avalanche too, people just love Avalanche in general. Ignis is great if you're working on fire, because it gives you a 50% bonus. Aurelian is one of the best ones, just all round. It gives you healing and damage boosts and stuff, just helps everywhere. And then Golden Scourge is incredible at just general tankiness. He survives well and he makes you tank really well, and yeah, he's just brilliant. Scourge too, very similarly, he's a sort of much cheaper version that works almost as well. So that's a good quick look at quick talk about dragons, and look at mine. I've trained most of them up, or most of the ones which I've leveled up. I've also trained their skills up too. So what to look at next? Next we'll look at my character. So as you can see, I'm up to 2.9 million armor. Very proud of that, and it's mainly, to be fair, it's mainly because I'm set mixing. So as you can see, I'm using both a VIP necklace and talisman, which means I can get 6 set bonuses, which means I get tons of armor. So yeah, it would be about 500,000 less if I wasn't doing this set mixing. So it's more like 2.4 million to be honest. But anyway, it's 2.9 million because I'm doing this, and it does mean my stats are a bit low, but it's not too bad. My curio is a fire and nature. I've gone for fire and nature in both. Actually, I say that the wisp I'm wearing right now is for PvE, which is something else. But anyway, this is my curio. I want to get a better curio. I really regret not going for a better one at the time. I had the gems. I was being really stingy and I didn't do it. So next time there's a nature fire one, I'm going to like go crazy and get a really good curio. This is my PvE wisp, which is just for tons of fire. Actually, when it goes to PvP, I put on this other one, which has basically a load of armor penetration that ultimately is better, and it still gives me, you know, fire and nature, gives me elemental stats. But like, because my elemental stats are really high, which I'm going to show now, the elemental stats don't make a huge amount of difference. So I got 450% fire, 350% water, and 490% nature. Those are the 3 elements I go for. They work out really well. I'm often, though, in my PvP setup, even when doing PvE, because I can't be bothered to change, so I normally have more like 520% nature, and my fire is about 400%. This fire, actually, I think I do about the same amount of damage, even though it's quite a bit lower. Because my armor penetration is higher, I do about the same, and then with my nature it just does ridiculous damage. So anyway, that's that there. Where I'm getting all these elemental stats from are jewels. I think this is mostly nature stuff, yeah. I've got nature stuff on my trinkets. That's kind of what I'm working on now. I've worked on the other stuff before. On equipment, I have all my fire stuff. So I have 8 of the 24% fire tristones. The maximum possible is 9, and I messed up. I could have had 9, but I didn't. And then, yeah, so I've got a couple of spheres as well. You can see my elite spheres as well. I've got a few of them around on this bit. And then, yep, that's my after them. And then on appearance, I have all my water and nature stuff. So I got, I think, 10 of these nature water tristones, which, as you can see, I'm still working on a few of them. I've got them to like the legendary quality, but need to finish them off. Got a few of these elite crescents, which are superior quality, so I got them on there. And then this is my other elite jewels, more elite jewels, more elite jewels, and then some random jewels. And one thing which I do want to show off. So there was a festival ages ago now. Can't remember when exactly. I think it was beginning of 2017. It's like January 2017, where they gave out the first star jewels that weren't just sort of random stats. And yeah, this is where I got them from. It cost me a few thousand gems to do, but I got this fire and light tristones, sorry, not tristones, star jewels with 24% in. So they're very rare because they were just in that festival, and I think the only reason to do the festival was for these jewels, and people weren't really too sure about that, so not many went for it. I've then got these sort of mana jewels on. I only get them to epic quality for the 156 mana, and just leave them at epic level 1. You can see there's one there which I leveled up, but most of them just kept at level 1 because that's kind of a cheap way to get loads of mana. My battle wings are up to 134. I did a push earlier on this year. I say this year, it's right at the end of the year now, but it was right at the beginning. I did some streaming and did a PvP push, which got me up like an extra 20 levels or so. I may do one again at the beginning of this next year. It's depending on what I'm doing with stuff. But anyway, that's what I get there, and just have a look at the stats if you're interested. So that should be everything on my character here. I've got some gem boxes because it's the special gem box from event right now. So I thought I'd do that just before the video and open these up. See if I get anything more than 100. Do I? Nope. Christmas has not been kind to me. So that's it on my character. And then looking at my inventory and vault, I keep everything very, very tidy. So as you can see, there's kind of not consumables, resources, stuff, currency, that's what I mean, is there. And then I have sort of space for items and stuff that are coming in from maps. I then have some consumables. I keep some of the best ones. So I've got like runic potions here that do 80% damage reduction for 5 seconds. These were like from some special event thing. Actually, I think the best ones... Oh no, not holiday eggnog. They're eggnog. If I can find them. I'm sure they're around... Yeah, I've only got 29 eggnog yet left, but these are ridiculous. They fully restore health and mana and make you immune to all damage for 5 seconds, and they have a cooldown of 1 second. So you can just make yourself invincible. I kept this potion. This is Elixir of the Mist Dragon. They only gave one of these out, and it was when dragons first came out. So if you use this, you get a level 120 max Mist Dragon, which was, you know, overpowered back at the time, but now it's kind of pathetic. But anyway, that's there. Then I've got some PvP stuff that I need to use up. Got some damage potions that are just kind of lying around. Then we get to like where I've organised some tournament score boxes. These are all my scoring fragments. I keep them in my inventory so that as I pick some up, they don't like fill up random space. They just slot into where they should be. So as you can see, I've got a few pages of those. I keep a lot of Valor boxes. You'll see them around everywhere. There's more tournament score boxes. And then here at the back, I have various equipment sets. So this is the current trinkets that I just have here because I'm mixing trinkets. So if I ever need to go to the actual current set to get the proper stats, that's there. This set I have for guild raids. I've got the Lion's Glory gloves. I use these in farming. I'm currently testing out this newer set, this newer glove, because it's a bit more offensive, and I'm already super tanky in PvP, so I have that there. I have some move speed stuff for my archer and knight around, and then I've got a couple of like random curios and stuff. This is my curio back from when PvP curios first came out. So I didn't know how good each of the stats were. I figured tenacity was kind of crazy, and I didn't care about nature. So I wanted to max tenacity and water, which as you can see, 10% was the max tenacity, so I did really well there, and 50% was the max water. So I got a brilliant curio here. The sad truth is, crit block is the most important stat, and my crit block between 100 and 200, I got 140 or so, which isn't the best. So my newer curio is better, even though it hasn't got tenacity, which is really unfortunate. It is unfortunately better. So anyway, then I've got some random insignias, and then this is my farming stuff, which I'm not going to put on, but basically I have 700% experience find and 2,200 and something like that, 2,200 gold find, or maybe a little bit more. I've kind of stopped on gold find because I don't need it. But anyway, so this is like where I have all this stuff. I use this old equipment stuff rather than a gold farming set because it actually gives more move speed, and I cannot be bothered to get a new set, resocket it all, put stuff in just for a bit more gold find when I actually don't need any gold. I'm constantly at 90 million and it's a problem, so I don't need the gold find. I do have a farming set on my appearance though because of that move speed, which is just really helpful. Although saying that, it actually slows me down. But anyway, you can see here as well, there's a crescent in there that is a 50% one that I recently got and put on. I am actually leveling that up. But yeah, I've tried to get ones with experience find on them, as you can see, to try and max the amount of experience I get. You can see I've got 3 of the best, what I would consider the best crescent jewel for farming. I've got 3 of them there. And anyway, so then for my trinkets, I've got this with move speed and gold find on it. I use the VIP talisman to keep the set bonus of this, which is the 90%. Unfortunately, I sold my old gold drop sets, which came with more. And then, like I said, I've got these, like I said earlier on, I've got these earrings which give mana per kill, which are great for farming. But we can now get mana per kill via, via guild skill, so you don't need those. And then I've just got some other like random pieces. This is a brilliant curio. I was so happy with this. Those stats are kind of maxed across the board, and the gold find, the max was 80%, and I got 79.98%, which I was very happy with. So that's my farming curio. So that's that there. As you can see, there's some evolution materials here. I've got a load of stuff for the the elite jewels, which I haven't used yet. Some Valor boxes, because, you know, why not have 100 Valor boxes there. These are my other jewels that are kind of lying around. I've got loads of elemental ones, some sort of smaller ones here for nature and water and fire, and then a couple of light ones. This is all shadow 24% ones. I've got 7 of those. I don't know what this one is. Oh, a small light one, okay. Got a bit of armor penetration, random stuff. This is a maxed old jewel. I've got that shadow sphere, which unfortunately doesn't really fit into my build. And some lifesteal jewels, which I took off to get more armor from elite jewels. These 2% armor jewels are really good to have for your character, but they're weaker than elite spheres if you're playing as either wizard or knight, because we get an armor bonus from frost armor and stuff. There's just not a whole lot of point using these. It's much better to have the base armor, which is going to get multiplied by that. For archer though, these are really good. Then I got some random scourings lying around. I put scourings in my vault and scoring fragments in my inventory. This is like other ingredient stuff. You can see I've got 999 opals. These are for the elite spheres, but I obviously don't need them. This is my tournament page, which is mostly boxes. I like to keep these because then if I'm ever like going to go to sleep and I'm on 7 valor, then I can take out a few of these and open them until I get 3 valor, and then do a tournament run, and then I have it more efficiently because it's going to be on 0 valor when I go to bed. There's less valor wasted overnight. So I like to keep a bunch of these in my vault to use for that. This is my kind of old stuff. So this was my old appearance farming set before we got the farming set that has move speed on it. I got this one because it comes with cooldown reduction. So if you look here on the helm, I got the elite version of it, which comes with 5% cooldown reduction. The set bonus also gives 7.5%, and then of course I resocketed everything for 3 crescents. So this was kind of the best set for farming that I had before I got the newer stuff, and it's now lagging like crazy. It's not gonna work for me. Okay, and then I got some of these old things, so like on my my test account, the 3% damage thing, the thing that gives +% armor. These were rings with mana basic on them, which is very rare. This was a cape with 5% move speed. I think, yeah, this was the last ever event cape that gave move speed. For some reason, they just stopped giving that on equipment. And then they also used to give 6% move speed on the boots, which for whatever reason became 5%. There was also mana per basic on that, which is unusual. Oh, I've got an old VIP staff. Okay, that's my VIP staff, I guess. And then I've got this. This is from the original tournament, which I told you about before, as well as I got the bow and quiver from the original tournament. I've then got some like old equipment stuff for move speed stuff, and a maxed move speed cape and chest. A VIP necklace as well. I got an epic version, just decided to keep that. You've seen these items here before as well on my test account, the ones with move speed on. And then I've got these are old trinkets before the gold drop set with max 30% gold find on them. These are much harder to get now because it randomizes the stats. Originally it used to just give you guaranteed 30%. It's got this medal with 5% move speed on, like before, and then I keep like basically the fabled rings that come out. I think I get rid of the really bad ones, but I keep most of them. Yeah, this is an old banner I used to use for farming. Don't know why I still keep that, to be honest. And then I got some random curios. These aren't actually very good. This is a really good light wisp for some reason. I got that at some point. I don't use light at all. This is my highest crit block curio, which I kept just more for fun, really. Not actually going to use it, I don't think. And then there's item, that medal thing. You can see some more fabled rings. I've got some fabled gloves here too. I've got 60 of these for if they ever increase the levels of the dragon buildings, then I can max out. It's best to use these on the fishery. I think it's called a fishery, and the silver production and stuff, because those are also training scroll production, because while you're upgrading those, they don't produce any fish or silver or training scrolls, so you want to kind of rush those upgrades, but the others you can kind of leave. And then I've got more valor boxes because I just have tons. PvP boxes, I save these up. I never use them until I'm doing a PvP push with streaming. So this is actually, if you count these up, there's one of these for every 2 weeks. I haven't done. Actually, no. Is it every 2 weeks or every 1 week? Oh, that's a good question. Must be every 1 week. Yes. There's one of these for every week since my last PvP push. So if you count those up, you can see how long ago it was I did the PvP push with the streaming. This is my potions page, which I have a ridiculous number of GLPs. I just never use them because I don't have any problem with gold. I've got like 33 of these ones, which they take like 2 hours to do each, and then these take 1 hour to do each. It's just ridiculous how many you get. The cooldown potion ones are brilliant, and the mana potions too. I really savour those. I try not to use them. I basically don't use any potions unless I really need to. So it's like when I'm doing the master maps, that's when I use potions, and that's when I'll also use GLPs to get the gold faster. I've got some of these old skin fragments, which we don't need them anymore, but they are for various skins. I only kept the ones which I was interested in, like the skins which I don't have that I would quite like to have. I keep some of these. There's some random elite tristones that I accidentally made that have to sit there, and then I like more scaroons, which are kind of overflow, and then at the end I keep some prisms. So anyway, that's it for this video. I wasn't really going to go through anything else. I wasn't sure what pace to do, but I hope that pace was okay. Skill points and stuff, this is the last thing to show, I guess, on my character. How many skill points I have in different things. My passives, I maxed out this health thing, which is slowly becoming weaker with time. But I don't regret that. I have enough skill points that I can max that. The damage one is completely pointless, and I've put 10 points in that because, you know, it's good to have some more mana. I've got 1,800. So yeah, that's sort of passives, abilities. I'm currently getting this to 50. I think because of the mana cost increasing, it gets a bit annoying at around this point, so I'm going to stop at 50, and then I'm going to start getting myself torrent for farming, and then slowly, yeah, basically working on these advanced skills. I've maxed out all these to what I want. Fun fact is that teleport, it has the teleport range 2000, except when you're in PvP, this gets reduced. I can't remember what it gets reduced to now, but for whatever reason, it's only when you have 10 skill points. At 9 skill points, it doesn't get reduced, and at 11 plus, it doesn't get reduced. So I've had to put 1 extra point in this. If you have 10 points in teleport, make sure you put 1 extra point in it, so that you keep this full range when you're in PvP. I don't think I mentioned that in my wizard video, but anyway, that's a fun little extra fact for you at the end here for watching all the way through. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you all have a great holidays, and I will be coming out with the next few videos are still finishing off the archer builds. Then I'm going to be doing knight builds. I'm going to be bringing in that PvP stuff, the community PvP, basically some archer clips from some of my friends, as well as an updated what is the PvP meta, and some clips of me playing wizard. So that should be good fun, and that's pretty much what's coming up. I haven't got any further plans. I've got loose plans, but I haven't, finalised them, worked out exactly when I'm doing things. But they'll be coming out, and then various other videos are going to be coming out for Neo Monsters, and I think I've got an Uncharted project, which, if you know the game series Uncharted, about, 9 months ago, I think, I played through all the Uncharted games on Crushing, and I saved video clips from it to basically put into one big montage. So I plan to do that at some point. I've got all the clips together, just need to kind of turn it into a montage, but it should be fun. So thanks very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in another video soon.